Just a quick reminder, PCR tests are available to be carried out in the mobile testing centre. Half an hour remains for you to do so. It will close promptly at 3 o'clock this afternoon. DD2, Heat 3 of the meeting, race number 12, 11 including this one to go. We're past the halfway point of what's a very busy day. So, let's have a look at the starting grid, shall we? Glenn van Parijs and Sander Schriblak alongside each other on the front row for this one. Matis Malinovskis and Janne Gussens, they will be on row 2. Chris Seiders and Rasmus Vendelbo will be on row 3. Sebastian Janchevski was actually to the right-hand side of the pre-grid, so it looks like he might be starting after the field has taken the start itself. Jakob Bezel in 8th, ahead of Ronnie Göttler, Zenderua, Fabian Bock, Florian Breitenbach, Friedrich Jerich, Oliver Breitenbach, Peter Bezel, Manuel Tenschert, Sebastian Deconde, Enzo Boulogne and Luca Murareto. So now we have another 10 minutes plus an additional lap to go in this one. And then we'll have another DD2 heat after this. It'll be Groups B versus D. So heat 4 out of 6. Still plenty more racing action to come. We will be honouring the champions before the finals tomorrow from 2020. We do also have the trophies, which will be posted on social media via our relevant social media channels on Facebook and Instagram later on today. So, who's your money on the front row? It's going to be tough to call. Both drivers filled with confidence, looking to get the upper hand. And with 2 more heats to go, it's anyone's guess who's going to be on pole position for tomorrow. 37 different drivers, representing 15 different nationalities, with a total of 22 drivers, 22 nationalities for drivers here this very weekend. The United Arab Emirates, Mozambique, amongst others, Latvia, Germany, the Czech Republic. Here in a very, very saturated Belgium, I must say. And the rain is still coming down. It has been coming down all day. It even hit during the nights as well, around about 11 o'clock yesterday evening. And to be honest with you, these drivers will have definitely earned a respite tonight. That much is guaranteed. But it's come rain, come shine, that we go racing here in the Rotax Max Euro Trophy. We've even had low-lying fog last year in Adria. We've had everything thrown at us. We've even had the snowfall earlier on this week when teams started to arrive. But the drivers get ready. They get steady. We go lights out. We go racing. Schriblak looked to get a bit of the whole shot on comparison with Glenn van Parijs. So Schriblak already gets up into the lead. And Janne Gussens tries to get past Glenn van Parijs going through into turn 2. But van Parijs, very, very well experienced. Based out of Hasselt. He does know a thing or two about racing. And he's going into Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux this year. But we concentrate here on karting Genk. And now Rasmus Vendelbo going toe-to-toe, side pod to side pod, and actually gets past Janne Gussens. And then Jakob Bezel looks to be in the mix there too. They're all trying to scrabble for traction. Someone's been left behind in the wake of the spray rooster tails that are being kicked up by the Mojo W5 wet weather tyres. But now, the battle lines truly get drawn here in DD2. The defending champion leading the way. Last year's vice champion right behind and trying to close. But has got Rasmus Vendelbo from Denmark right up his back bumper. Janne Gussens, Jakob Bezel. Looks like Matis Malinovskis has dropped out of the top 5 as they cross the line. Schriblak leading by just under a second from Van Parijs. Drua now up into 6th position. And now there is the move from Rasmus Vendelbo. He's managed to get past, but Van Parijs up the inside through turn 4. But Vendelbo not giving up, and he's going to go and give chase, and up the inside. Oh! 2 wheels onto the mud goes Glenn van Parijs. He puts the anchors on. Oh, that was absolutely brilliant stuff there. Van Parijs controlled the situation, and not only that, had a perfect handle on the controlling of his kart. The 400 from Bouvin Power really got to measure. A little bit of a touch there between him and Vendelbo. Vendelbo up the inside, gets through on the exit of turn 8. Now bring into this mix 3 hard chargers. Jarni Gersens. Then you got Jakob Bezel. Keep your eyes on Zendarua. He's always one to watch. Jakob Bezel looked up the inside briefly, showed his nose to Jarni Gersens. And Zendarua, all he needs to do is stay in that ringside seat and then wait to strike at a moment's notice, like a tiger waiting in the reeds. As, a little bit of a contretemps there. That was between Malinovskis and Manuel Tencher with the Austrian. And he's just basically signalled, clear as day, to Malinovskis, saying, stop fighting with me, man. Let's go after the people in front. And that's what you need. And now Malinovskis has nearly lost out to Petter Bezel in the process, going through turn 2. Oh, the gloves are well and truly off. And you can just see that these drivers, I mean, they are to be honest with you, you stick me behind the wheel of a car, I don't know whether to slip into the seat and sort of hide away, or maybe sort of like think, what am I doing here? But I have to give bravado to every single driver, as there goes Zendarua up the inside of Jarni Gersens to now take 5th position. Now, he got himself up into P3 before the straight line excursion off of turn 2. So just 23 minutes remain for the mobile PCR testing service to be used. It closes at 3 o'clock. And that is in the race office just off the brasserie. So this is an absolute dogfight here from 2nd down to 6th position. And leading that is Rasmus Vendelbo. And in the meantime, well, Zana Shrivlak says, yeah, let's go for a casual drive, shall we? And now Van Perai strikes up the inside of Vendelbo. Vendelbo trying to go toward... Oh! Now that is proper momentum. The rear end of that Tony kart just literally... It didn't light up the rear tyres. It hooked them onto the track and just went, yeah, I'm going to bite right now. And bite it did, as there goes Jakob Bezel trying to go up the inside of Glenn Van Perijs through turn number 5. But Van Perijs again just showing his calibre. You know, that put him as a champion last year and also a runner-up for the Euro Trophy last season. And his season, it was a very, very much a tale of 2 halves for Glenn Van Perijs. I still remember in one of the heats at Wackersdorf where he was pushed wide, coming through the chicane, going into the double hairpin. And I remember seeing from the commentary box, literally I heard a massive thud. A kart went spinning around 720 and there was Glenn Van Perijs out of the race. And that was a what-if situation. Is now, here goes Van Perijs up the inside. Vendelbo runs a little bit wide. Van Perijs just seizes the day, but now here comes the cutback. That was perfectly timed by Rasmus Vendelbo, and they both were losing back-end traction coming out of turn 12. That's how hard they're pushing. The favour gets returned through turn 2. And Van Perijs goes on the defensive. Vendelbo will look to go, he goes sideways. And again, another exchange. That's brilliant racing. But Van Perijs out of turn 4, lights up the rear tyres, puts down the hammer and says thank you and good night. But not quite yet, because Vendelbo up the inside through turn 6. Wow. This is absolutely epic stuff here. These drivers are pushing like crazy. Jarni Gersens in 6. Now watch out. Oh, now 406. That is Enzo Boulogne from RM Concept, and that is off of turn number 4. The French driver gets back in the kart, but we have to reconcentrate our focus here on this battle. Van Perijs and Vendelbo, they will be shaking hands in the paddock after that, showing true sportsmanship. And now Zendarua is biding his time. I said this earlier, and he's just got past Jakob Bezel. So it's just about tippy-toeing through turn 12. And now Van Perijs scarpers away by about a kart length or 2. As we have 20 minutes left for the mobile PCR testing service to be used in the race office. 20 minutes and then that will close. So anyone that has booked an appointment, please go and have that now before it is too late, as we will close the PCR testing service here in the race office at 3 o'clock on the dot. Zendarua still trying to catch the 2 in front, and it is a bit of it's a chess mind game, isn't it? You're trying to outpsych your opponent. You're trying to put them off in terms of where you're placing the kart. You're going to try and keep them guessing. and make them understand that you are not playing around, as Malinovskis has Tenchet's a little bit further behind him, and it looks like Fabian Bock has got himself up into the top 10 now. The 481 from Voigt Motorsport was in senior Rotax, moved up to DD2 this year and showed good pace, but obviously dry conditions it was last week at the B&L Karting Series. And Luca Benedetto, it's been a difficult day in the office for the Italian, has South African heritage as well, but speaks very, very good English, as now Zentarua putting the frighteners on Rasmus Vendelbo. This time, the Slovenian looking to strike, going through into turns 1 and 2. And there he goes, up the inside. Takes third position. Cleanly done. Perfect timing from Zentarua, as now Jakob Bezel fancies a bite of the cake right now. He's up the back bumper of Vendelbo, looking up the inside. Vendelbo closes the door through turn 5. And when I tell you that Zander Schriblak has nearly a 9-second advantage over Glenn van Parijs with 2 minutes to go on the clock, and he's done a 1 minute 12.829 on that previous lap. Fastest lap of the race. Last 2 laps, he's gone sub 113. Van Parijs has started to scamper away, and it's just put in a personal best of a 1 minute 13.7. Now Darua was very, very cool and calm. I had a good chat with him earlier. And he said, yeah, it was quite spontaneous when he proposed to his fiancée, Sarah, but now he's thinking of other things, and that is racing. This now is becoming a dogfight. Oh, switch around there. Oh, my goodness. Jakob Bezel up the inside through turn 12 on Rasmus Vendelbo, but the Dane responds in kind. Great move there by the Dane. But then Jakob Bezel sends it from another country. And then Vendelbo just goes, yeah, you want that? Hold my beer. Vendelbo was absolutely... He's provided a hell of a lot of entertainment in this race. Oh, you know what? I've missed being in this commentary box. After 7 months from my last visit here at Karting Genk. Oh, the roar of the engines, the action out on track. It has been non-stop, full throttle. As now, that was Tenchet, I believe, on Malinovskis, possibly. That looks to be the case. So Tenchet making his way up the order. So really, really good work there by the Austrian. And he's very, very shy of being in front of a camera, his Manuel Tenchet. I found that out a couple of years ago. But he's a good bloke, really nice guy. So we go on to the penultimate lap. Zander Schriblak again, 1 minute 13.0, third and fourth. Well, actually make that 4th and 5th there, because Zentarua has gotten away. He's definitely put the afterburners on that car, even though they aren't, well, they're figuratively there, not literally there. But there goes Jakob Bezel up the inside of oh, my goodness me. And whilst Vendelbo and Jakob Bezel have been fighting, Jakob's brother Peter is coming into play and was very close going into turn 2. So the timer has expired. And when you're not talking much about the leader, Zander Schriblak, who's now making his way into the left-hand hairpin at turn 9. He's doing a damn fine job, if I do say so myself. 9.5 seconds over Glenn van Parijs. As here goes Bezel and Vendelbo again at loggerheads. This has been non-stop once again through turn 9. Vendelbo trying to keep ahead of Bezel, who's trying to anticipate what the Dane's going to do next. So, last lap board is out. Zander Schriblak goes on to the 10th and final lap of this race. Glenn van Parijs keeping it nice and consistent. He's won a race already. Second's not going to do any harm to his credentials this weekend. Zentarua up into P3. Vendelbo and Jakob Bezel still battling away tooth and nail as they head into turns 1 and 2. And again, Jakob Bezel fires it up the inside of the Dane, and he blocks off. Now, that was a really good strategy call. He planted the kart exactly where he needed to, and Vendelbo had no opportunity to get through. But still, there's still another 6 corners to go, not including this one, of course. Turn 6, taking you onto the Europalan. But can Vendelbo hook up the rear tyres, bite the tyres down into the down the Europalan, down the back straightaway? Not on this particular occasion. Zenderua is just trying to make sure he keeps things calm and stays in P3. However, Zana Shriblak goes through turn 11 for the final time, exits out of the corner, puts the hammer down, through into the right-hander at turn 12 for the final time. So Shriblak comes towards the checkered flag and comfortably takes the race victory by a handsome margin. Glenn van Parijs, steady as he goes through turn 12, as now Petter Bezel trying to get the switch back on. Oh, he's got past him. Rasmus Vendelbo on the final corner gets mugged from absolutely nowhere, courtesy of Petter Bezel. The hits, they keep on coming. Well, I might need to lie down in a minute. Well, or just catch my breath, one of the two. Zana Shriblak takes the victory by 10.1 seconds ahead of Glenn van Parijs in P2. Zenderua, a great drive once again from the Slovenian. P3 from P10. Jakob Bezel having a great battle, takes 4th after starting 8th. And then Petter Bezel started 15th and finished in 5th. And mugged Rasmus Vendelbo from Denmark for 5th position on turn 12 on the last lap of the race. Brilliantly timed. Yanni Gussens was in the mix in the top 3, finished 7th. Manuel Tenschert started 16th, finished in 8th, ahead of Chris Seiders and Friedrich Jerich, running out the top 10. Another solid top 11 finished for Sebastian de Grand in 11th. Fabian Bock in 12th. Matis Malinovskis in 13th. Luca Muneretto. I think this is going to be a day that he will want to sort of say what on earth has been going wrong, but I'm sure that the Italian will have a bit of inner resolve. 14th. Sebastian Janchevski in 15th. Florian and Oliver Breitenbach round out the top 17 ahead of Ronnie Göttler and Enzo Boulogne.